Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm sitting here with the brother that doesn't need an introduction, Master Herbalist, Dr. Patrick Delves, live here from Grenada. The brother has another PowerPoint information that he wants to bring to the family. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I see y'all slowly filing into the room. Make sure you hit the like button. And most of all, most importantly, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Let me show y'all. I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to take an opportunity to share the screen. We're going to do this nice and slow. All right? You should be seeing my screen right here. Okay? Let's go to the page. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. I see some of y'all on the page. So you should be already logged into the brother Dr. Patrick's live stream. So let me show y'all what y'all need to do. This is a new page. If you want to keep up with all the latest cutting edge information that our Master Herbalist is bringing us, this is what you need to do. Stay with me, family, all right? You need to come to his new page, Patrick Delves, Master Herbalist. Let me go back one page so y'all can see, right? Y'all see this right here? Master Herbalist Patrick Delves. That is the old page. See this? This is the old page. There's 65 videos up here. The brother is pushing a new page. We switched it around. Instead of Master Herbalist Patrick Delves, it's Patrick Delves Master Herbalist. It's inverted. When you click this, okay, you're going to come to the button that says subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to Patrick Delves Master Herbalist, and then hit that bell. What the bell will do is it will let you know every time Patrick Delves uploads a video here on YouTube, so you get an alert so that you are in the loop with the latest information. So with that being said, I'm going to turn the floor over to our Master Herbalist, Dr. Patrick Delves. I see y'all logging in. Everybody's coming in real quick. I appreciate it. Wonderful. Make sure, family, make sure. I know I keep saying this, and I'm repeating myself. All your social media sites, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those different social media sites that you have friends or family that need health or herbal information, wellness information, this is the place for them to come. Hit the share button right now on this video on YouTube. Share this video to all your social media sites. Let them know that the Master Herbalist is live, and let them know to subscribe and to like the video, and let the brother know that he's doing a good job. With that being said, this is your brother Dan. I'm turning the floor over to our Master Herbalist, Dr. Patrick Delves.
That's it, Lord. Yes, Dan, thank you for the splendid introduction. All right, and now tonight we're going to talk about MS, multiple sclerosis. We don't have a video on that, but I did have, we had a video on that, but not PowerPoint. And we don't have a PowerPoint video on MS, but we're going to talk about Guillain-Barre syndrome, because it is a similar disease to MS, because they both damage the myelin sheath. All right, so we're going to show you some slides pertaining to the Guillain-Barre syndrome. All right, now remember that we had a brother who had the disease, Guillain-Barre syndrome, and his name is Edison Mitchell Ajamo, the Californian from Grenada, and he got sick when he was in Canada. And he ended up in the emergency room and in the ICU, intensive care unit, because he could not walk, because that particular disease had damaged his nerves in his face, and he couldn't close his eyes to sleep. He couldn't smile. He couldn't whistle, and he couldn't walk. And he spent 9 days in Virginia in a hospital there. And I think he was a very good eater, so that's what saved him. But he got this particular disease from not the Zika virus, but from the mill virus. All right? Because viruses can also cause us to have these troubles also, autoimmune diseases. Or, as I said, the immune system could be very become overactive because of acidosis and stress. And this brother was very stressed at that particular time, so he came out with Guillain-Barre syndrome. Now, as I said before, he could not close his eyes. Now he's closing his eyes. He could not smile. No, he smiled. He couldn't sing. He sang Sunday night. You know what I mean? In the Pure Grenada Music Festival. I know he's walking okay, and we are still giving him some supplementation with the nerve function, because as I said before, Guillain-Barre syndrome affects the nervous system just like MS do. All right. So he's okay. Ajamo is okay, and we had him on one of our videos, and he was explaining to the audience, what was going on with his eyes and his lips and his swollen muscles and stuff. And now he's much better. He's about 90% there now. All right, and all because we changed around how he eats and and give him a lot of herb that deal with the nerves. And we're going to tell you what you can do also to repair your autoimmune diseases. As I said, sometimes a lot of the autoimmune diseases come from leaky gut. You know what I mean? Your gut is leaking all the foods, and the immune system become very overzealous, attacking your foods as a foreign invader. So all these are conditions that we have to look and try to understand where they're coming from in order for us to fix it. Because if you don't know the cause, if you don't or can't find the cause of a disease, you will never fix it. You must find the cause. All right? And we're going to wait on, is her name Brittany?
We can go on. You have the
PowerPoint. We're going to wait on Brittany. Brittany is one of the patients that we treated for MS. And she's fine. We're going to be trying to get her on live stream. And she's going to tell you, give you her the journey she's been through with MS, and how we helped her to repair that particular disease. All right. Now, MS is similar to Guillain-Barre syndrome, and I want to mention this to a lot of the people who suffer from MS. Remember that Richard Pryor died from that.
Yes.
If the myelin shear is damaged, you can't fix it. Don't forget I told you that. What is the myelin shear? The myelin shear is the covering. So you have to have a wire in the hand, right? And this is the covering of the myelin of the nerves, right? It's like electricity. So what happens is sometimes when you get inflammation, because irritation causes inflammation now. Once the body becomes irritated and you start to get inflammation, you start to have lesions on the brain, on the spine, and in the eyes. And that's where you lose your motor skills. Because I'm going to do this for you here. See, I'm going to cut this wire. Yeah. And once you cut the wire, and you see that, see there? Can I show it to them? Show like that? Just show us the camera here. The camera. You see the wire? See the wire exposed? Now, when the wire exposed, that's the nerves. Now, once the myelin shear is damaged, then you start to can't have no click. You can't have no electricity. So automatically everything becomes dead. Muscles become dead. Nerves become dead. You have to be in a wheelchair. That's if you damage the myelin shear. If you don't damage the myelin shear, you can fix MS. All right, because this 19-year-old had MS, but the myelin shear was not damaged. So we could have helped her to fix her condition. But once the electricity can't click because of the, what do you call, myelin dilation, then you start to have trouble with walking and motor skills. All right, so you have to try to avoid getting the myelin shear damage. Otherwise, you can't fix MS at all, period. Don't forget that, right? Now, we heard lots of doctors saying that the nerves cannot be repaired. That's not true. The nerves might take a longer time in the body to repair. That's why it's not good to have trouble in the nerves, because it takes a longer time to repair than any part in any other cell. And that's why it's very difficult to fix mental disorders also, although they can be repaired, but it's very difficult to fix them because they affect the nervous system, okay? And the nerves is the hard cell to get back. But there are plants on the earth that we're going to show you on the screen that act as nervines that we can use to help to rebuild the nervous system, okay? Because God put plants on the earth for every single condition that we seem to have. All right, ready for the screen?
Yes, sir.
Guillain-Barre syndrome. Don't forget to say that Guillain-Barre syndrome is similar to multiple sclerosis. All right, and remember there are different types of them. There is multiple sclerosis, there is muscular dystrophy, there is scleroderma, there is rheumatoid arthritis, the myomyelitis. That's when the The immune system attack your lungs. There is also lupus. All those are what we call autoimmune diseases. And the average doctor will tell you that there is no cure for these diseases. That's because there is a cure for all diseases. Okay, don't forget that. There is only incurable people, but there is a cure for all diseases once you can find the cause of that particular disease. And as I said before, everything starts in our digestive system, which I call the earth. Stomach, spleen, stomach, pancreas, small and large intestine. That's where everything starts. Facts, the earth, including multiple sclerosis and Guillain-Barré syndrome. Right? You ready?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
All right, family. So we're about to share the live stream. Make sure that y'all take notes. Get your pen and your paper ready.
Each one teach one.
There you go.
You know what I mean? We ain't hiding nothing.
Here we go.
All right.
All right. The herbalist, Patrick Dells. Let's go to slide number 1.
Guillain-Barré syndrome, and as I said before, Guillain-Barré syndrome is similar to MS. And what is Guillain-Barré syndrome? The next slide for me, brother. All right. Guillain-Barré syndrome is a disorder that causes damage to the peripheral nerves. The nerve injury often cause paralysis, just like MS does. All right. So it's a similar disease to multiple sclerosis and sensitivity problems, including what? Pain, tingling, pins and needles in the skin, or some numbness. And sometimes that could come from what we call neuropathy, also from people who have diabetes and damage the nerves. All right, so those are not only symptoms of MS or Guillain-Barré syndrome, but they are also could be caused by also diabetic neuropathy. All right, Guillain-Barré syndrome is an autoimmune disorder, as they claim it to be. The body's immune system attacks and destroys the myelin sheath, just like multiple sclerosis. And the myelin sheath surrounds the nerve cells of the large body like an insulator covering a water pipe. We just given a demonstration a while ago. If the myelin sheath is destroyed, nerve impulses traveling very slowly and can be interrupted if the muscles are not properly stimulated through the nerves. The nerve will not function correctly. All right, and that is what is, and it is similar to MS, multiple sclerosis, because they both destroy the myelin sheath. All right, now where you have lupus, or you might have scleroderma, or if you have SLE, this is called lupus, or you have scleroderma, you know, doctors will look at, they do what we call an ANA test, called an anti-nuclear factor test, and they will look at your symptoms. And if the symptom is the nerves, they might say, okay, you have either Guillain-Barré syndrome, you have muscles, or in the skin like lupus. They say, okay, you have SLE, or you have this called lupus. Okay, so they have similar diseases that caused by one source, acidosis. You understand, or leaky gut. All right, but the immune system becomes very overactive. So don't forget what Guillain-Barré syndrome is, that causes damage to the peripheral nerves. Okay. And don't forget that once the myelin sheath is destroyed, you cannot repair these diseases. You have no clicking of electricity. All right, don't forget that. Next slide, brother. Let's look at the brain, and let's look at Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is similar, as I said before, MS, multiple sclerosis. Now remember, we showed you the nerves, and we give you a demonstration of how the myelin sheath become damaged. If you look at the left on your screen, you're going to see the brain cord, because that's where the lesions go when you have multiple sclerosis or you have Guillain-Barré syndrome. These lesions go to the brain, they go to the spinal cord, and they go to the eyes. And that is why lots of people who have MS also, they have trouble with vision. All right, that's why they have bad motor skills. Now, if the lesions start damaging the nerves or cause inflammation, because the lesion causes inflammation, and we know that inflammation is caused by irritation. If the irritation causes inflammation, then the inflammation will damage the myelin sheath, and then you will start to have trouble with motor skills, or you can have trouble walking. All right, if you look at the left of the screen again, you will see it affects the nerves in the brain column or the spinal cord in the medical system. All right, that's what the Guillain-Barre syndrome does. But also, it is being caused by by multiple sclerosis also, because they're similar diseases. All right, they're both autoimmune disease. Now, if you look on the right side of the screen, you're going to see a normal nerve in the top, and then you're going to see in the bottom of your screen, you're going to see the myelin. All right, now I want you to look at the other parts called affected nerve. And I want you to go to the right of your screen, and you're going to see exposed nerve fiber. And we just gave you a demonstration a while ago with the wire. So that is similar to what happens to people who have Guillain-Barre syndrome and multiple sclerosis, whereby the myelin sheath at the top of the screen is intact. Once the myelin sheath is intact, you can fix Guillain-Barre syndrome, or you can repair multiple sclerosis. If the myelin sheath, right, if the myelin sheath is damaged, it says damaged myelin. If the myelin sheath is damaged, then the recovery of the patient is inevitable. You know what I mean? So you have to prevent your lesions or your inflammation from damaging the myelin sheath. That's significant. All right, don't forget that. And that's the reason why lots of people have Guillain-Barre syndrome and they have multiple sclerosis. They end up can't walking. They can't close their eyes like my brethren had couldn't do. And now he's closing his eyes. Now he's whistling. He sent me a video of him whistling, and I was amazed. Good. You know what I'm saying? And so he couldn't whistle at all. No, he's whistling because he had Guillain-Barre syndrome. All right, and because his myelin sheath was intact. All right. So once the myelin sheath is exposed and damaged, then the patient seems to have troubles walking, and they become bedridden or in a wheelchair. All right, it cannot be repaired then, okay, because damage in the myelin sheath. Right? Give me the next slide. Now, herbs for Guillain-Barre syndrome. Now, Guillain-Barre syndrome seem to go to the digestive system. I always tell people that because 80% of the disease starts there. All right? And lots of the doctors do not look for autoimmune diseases. And when they don't look for leaky gut, And once they don't look for leaky gut, they don't find the cause of these problems. Now, remember we said before that our our cells bathe in liquids. That's how the cells bathe. They bathe in liquid, but the liquid is alkaline. Now, once the body is in an acid state, starting from the digestive system, once the body's system becomes acidic, the body will is cellular level, meaning that your cells will also become acidic. Once your cells become acidic on a cellular level, then the cells become overzealous. They are not functioning in an alkaline to reach 7.4, 7.45. All right, and once they become overzealous, they could attack your organs, because as I said before, your immune system is like an army that could attack any virus, any bacteria, any antigen, and kill them. Once the immune system is at peak, once you have an overzealous immune system, the overzealous immune system will take your organs, your lungs, your liver, your kidney, and attack them and damage these organs, and then you die long term. And that's the reason why you have to keep the immune system in balance. You cannot keep it overactive. You cannot get it to be in that state. Okay. So herbs we use for Guillain-Barre syndrome or multiple sclerosis because they are similar diseases. Holy Immune. I think our sister here asked me to bring that Holy Immune to show the public. It's a wonderful product. It's all sold out now because you can't find it on the shelf, and the company is in back order because people are buying this particular product. It's very effective. And what the Holy Immune do is it helps to balance back the immune system, but it also helps to, it works on what we call liver detoxification. That's significant. when you're going to fix any kind of autoimmune disease. And also it works on your digestive system, but it also works on the intestines. That's very significant. The next one you're going to see I have this called
real quickly, family, just so y'all can see it, right?
Wonderful.
I want y'all to see it because the doctor's talking about Holy Immune.
Holy Immune.
So let's just show it to y'all how it looks. That's the product right there. That's the name of the name of the product. Holy Immune.
Yep, and it's made by a doctor called Dr. Jeffrey Jones. He is an oncologist. He is a cancer specialist, but he's a wise doctor because he puts lots of herbs, and minerals and beans and mushrooms in there. But he needs these things to function. So he's very wise, and I applaud him for that. And that is what we use when people have autoimmune diseases, like Holy Immune. We use, right? Yeah, got it. Another product we use is called Immune Adapt. Immune Adapt means that we help in the immune system now to go back to the adapting stage because now it's overactive. Your immune system to adapt to the natural way of life, right? So Immune Adapt is also important when you're going to fix multiple sclerosis and also Guillain-Barre syndrome or any kind of autoimmune disease. All right? Immune Balance. Immune Balance again is a set of herbs that's in there that helps to balance back the immune system. That's what I said, balance back, not suppress. Steroids suppresses your immune system. Immune balance it back because you must have balance in order for you to have good health. If you are in balance, you're going to have troubles long term. It's just a common sense thing. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand these basic principles. 7 precious mushrooms. And the mushrooms are very significant, especially red gandoderma and shiitake and maitake and another mushroom called chaga or another one called turkey rhubarb or turkey mushroom. They are very significant in acting as what we call amphoterics. Amphoterics mean that they go into the body and they help the immune system to become balanced so that your immune system do not attack your organs and your nerves. That is significant. Those are the first products that we administer to our patients who have any autoimmune disease, including multiple sclerosis. And then we use nervines. I think the person spelled that wrong. Nervines. We use nervines there. Nervines mean that we use plants that affect the nervous system in a positive way. And we're going to give you a few of them, right? Now, I think I mentioned about diabetic neuropathy. And neuropathy is a type of nerve damage that occurs if you have diabetes, but it can also occur if you have Guillain-Barre syndrome, see, or multiple sclerosis. High blood sugar can injure the nerve fibers throughout your body, but diabetic neuropathy most often damages nerves in your legs and your feet, whereby the Guillain-Barre syndrome damages nerves in the spine and in the brain, all right, with also multiple sclerosis. All right, go to the next chart, Bob. Now let's look at the vessels, the nerves, and then we're going to go to the left part of the screen. And although we are talking about diabetes, diabetic neuropathy, we are talking about neuropathy in Guillain-Barre syndrome and also in multiple sclerosis, right? So I want to look at the healthy nerves and the blood vessels. And when you have healthy nerves and you seem to have everything flowing properly. Once you start having troubles in the nerves because they're damaged, and the myelin sheath is damaged because of what we call myelin inhalation, you start to have on the right of the screen, you start to have nerves and blood vessels that are damaged by DPN. All right? So you want to look at the one on the left screen and look at the one on the right screen.
1 second. 1 second, I apologize.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we have Brittany on. She's on.
Oh, Brittany's on.
Yeah, Brittany, I see you. All right. So for the time being, I just want you to mute your phone. Okay. We're gonna talk to you.
Hey, Brittany.
Hi, Brittany. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful.
Great. We're gonna talk to you in 1 second. We want the doctor to finish his PowerPoint presentation, and then we're gonna talk to you in 1 second. All right. So for the time being, if you could just mute your phone, okay?
Okay.
have neuropathy, and neuropathy can be caused not only by diabetes but also by Guillain-Barre syndrome, because it affects the blood vessels and the nerves. All right, next chat for me, please, brother. Herbs we use for Guillain-Barre syndrome, or that we have Brittany on live screen there. She's one of the patients we gave all these herbs to. Skull cap and lady slipper. They are the most important herbs for the nerves, the nervous system. Don't forget, I told you that. These herbs are wonderful nervines. All right. Skull cap and lady slipper. This the second plant, lady slipper, is very difficult to find, but you can find it. Okay. Oat straw is another herb used when there is trouble in the endocrine system. But once you have troubles in the endocrine system, you're going to have trouble in the central nervous system. All right. So all these herbs, these first three plants, they work on the central nervous system, helping to rebuild the nerves at the same time. Chamomile is a very important herb for nerve damage, especially in the stomach, but it is also a carminative. So if there is any kind of trouble with the nerves in the stomach, which could cause you to have troubles with multiple sclerosis, chamomile will work there. There is a product we have in Grenada called soursop leaf. It's called graviola, I believe.
Yes,
the plant,
yes.
right? And we use that particular plant in Grenada for sleeping, for people who can't sleep. But we also use the plant as a nervine to relax the nerves. And if you can't sleep, and you have what we call repetitious thinking, we use that particular herb with another herb called passion flower. Turmeric, because your herbs mentioned inflammation, have lupus, multiple sclerosis, Guillain-Barre syndrome. They all can cause you to have troubles with inflammation because they irritate. When they irritate, you can get inflammation, because irritation causes inflammation. So we give you all the anti-inflammatories at the same time. We give you turmeric, and we give you another herb called kava kava if there is anxiety because of troubles with multiple sclerosis, and another herb called ginkgo to move the blood. And I want to mention too that there is a doctor called Dr. Hinton Jonas. I want you to mark his name down now. Hinton, Dr. Hinton D, middle name D, Jonez, Jonas. Look him up. And I want you to get his book. This book is entitled what? My Fight. To the end. My Fight to Conquer MS. My Fight to Conquer Multiple Sclerosis. Dr. Hinton D. Jonas. This doctor was fixing multiple sclerosis, and he had lots of people coming from all over the world because he was using natural stuff to fix MS. And after he died, they closed his wing down. You understand? And he was being fight on by lots of doctors. But he, between the years of 1957 and 1959, he was curing lots of people from all over the world naturally. With what? B12. Micrograms of that, plus minerals in chelation, intravenous. And he was fixing MS with these natural minerals and vitamins. You know what I mean? And then we wanted to look for another oil called Lorenzo oil. Don't forget the name, Lorenzo oil. That also helps to repair multiple sclerosis with EFAs, essential fatty acids, because remember that when you have trouble in your cell membranes produces a substance called prostaglandins, and you have three of them. One, you have PGE2, you have PGE3, and once you start producing PGE2 and PGE3, you will never ever be able to produce your good prostaglandins, and you will suffer from bad circulation, and you will also suffer from inflammation, because that's what they call them, EFAs, essential fatty acids, because your cell membranes need them to produce your good prostaglandins called PGE1. And you need your borage oil. when you have MS or when you have Guillain-Barre syndrome, and you need 8,000 micrograms of B12 per day in the liquid form or intravenous by a doctor who is open-minded, and you'll see a difference in about a month with your symptoms of MS. All right? And we could go to the screen a little bit to hear something on that. To do that?
It's the way you typed it.
Wonderful, I got you. Okay, and that's the way you fix MS. Once you go on these plants,
I think it says horse chestnut down there.
horse chestnut, and once you go on these plants and you use them on a regular basis and you stay away from them starches. You hear I say starches? Starch foods that clog up your digestive system and your intestine. Stay away from them. Acid and proteins, the all acid foods and fats, acid. Stay from those. And you go on an alkaline diet. And you change the composition of your cells on a cellular level, making your cells bathe in liquid that is alkaline, and you're using plants that help to balance back your immune system, and you will see how fast you can fix multiple sclerosis. Let's go to Brittany. Hi, Brittany.
Hey, Brittany, you can unmute yourself.
Hello, how are you?
Hey,
Hi, Brittany. How you
hey
doing?
Brittany, how are you? So,
Wonderful.
thanks for coming on. We want you to give your testimony, Patrick, here. So we want the people to understand what it is that you were dealing with and what it is that the doctor did for you. So go ahead and give your testimony.
Okay, so I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2015. And what I really dealt with was just chronic pain. Like I couldn't stand up for a long period of time. Like sitting down for a long period of time would also irritate my lower back. And like a lot of my symptoms were just it was just too much, like even with the new symptoms, and it was very painful. But yeah, with the spasms, like it's really bad. But I noticed that once I really did start taking the vitamins and actually working on my eating habit, I'm not 100% there yet, but
Brittany.
as I have been actually, looking to better myself, I haven't actually been in as much pain. Actually, my chronic pain has stopped since February, actually.
They also took you off into the
Yeah, and I also I don't have to take any more medications from my doctor.
since getting on the natural remedy.
Yeah, since I started taking the vitamins and the supplements.
All right, you came to see me you came to see me last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, with your dad.
Yes.
What are you doing, my brother?
Respect. What's up, Dan?
Bless and love, brother.
Hey, what's up, man?
Blessings, Patrick.
Give it thanks, man. Give thanks. I see your daughter she's all glowing, man. That's all good. And I hope she's keeping dad going, good brother,
What is her progress?
Yeah. With
Yeah,
the oil.
Yeah, Brittany, what is your progress now? Because you said that you stopped taking the doctor's medication. So what is your progress now? How are you progressing? You said the pain
Well,
stopped.
now, yeah, my pain stopped, and I'm actually trying to get more active. Before I wasn't really able to do much. Like I used to play basketball. I just stopped doing sports in general, and but now like I'm trying to get back into sports. I want to start taking boxing, and I've been doing meditation.
That's a good thing. And
Yes.
you're still taking your supplementation minerals and your B12 and
Yes.
holy immune.
Yes, my pills are running low, but I still have the turmeric, the magnesium, and the
Wonderful.
flaxseed oil.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I'll be
Huh? She meant the supplement.
the supplements, yes. Well, I'll be in New York next week Saturday, so you could come and see me, okay? Yeah?
Next week Saturday.
Right?
All right. Yes, I'll take off for work.
Yeah. When you went to get the test, I think you went to get a test again. What did the doctor tell you about the MS?
Oh,
Did you
yes.
see any-
After my latest MRIs,
Okay.
actually, I've had no new growth in my brain.
No, your spine.
Okay.
Oh, am I spine?
No
Yeah,
new
so
growth, period.
yeah, so no new growth period actually.
Wonderful. That's
And
wonderful.
I feel so much better.
We're still looking for the Lorenzo oil,
That's
though.
wonderful. Yeah, the Lorenzo oil, through it helps a lot of people. So I think you have to be. Let me give you a number to call. The number is 8. You could mark it on, brother. It's 800 1-800-445-HEAL. might be able to get it from that particular
Yeah, we've
that number. That
been looking since
doctors don't
last
do.
year.
What was that? 1
Yeah,
800
1
800
800 445 HEAL, heal. I think if you talk to doctors on that particular compound, you might be able to get the Lorenzo oil because I think they only tell it to
Okay.
doctor.
Great, great, great.
Yeah, but it's a wonderful product for MS, and it really helps to heal a lot of people who suffering from that particular disease because it is very.
We've been looking for the oil for the longest.
Yes, I prescribe all the things to her. Yeah, I prescribed the Lorenzo oil and I prescribed turmeric and stuff to her. Yeah, the holy immune. Yeah, yeah. So she's doing good. Thank you very much. Brittany, I want to thank you for keep on doing what you're doing. I always tell people that diet is the key in fixing any disease that you have. I know you're not there yet, but that I can see that you're trying your best to eat right and stay healthy because at the end of the day, the diet is the key in healing. Huh? Okay, food is the food for your medicine. You know what I mean? And that's why food is there for. It is there for us to use as medicine to keep us well. We're not supposed to be eating food to get us sick. You know what I mean? So I want to applaud you, and I want to say that I want to thank your dad for coming, for bringing you on live and coming when I was there last year. And I hope I guided you well with the help of the Most High. You know what I mean? Because without him, we can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? So, Dad, I want to thank you for bringing her, and I want to thank you for helping her to get on that road to health. You know what I mean?
Yes, thank you.
So, because you're very intelligent.
So it's been less than a year since she's come to see you.
Yes.
When she came to see you, she wasn't doing too good.
No, when she came to see, she was having a lot of pain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
Brittany.
About 9 months now.
So about 9 months. You don't have no pain now.
And the pad put her on has gotten her to this
Yes,
stage.
yes. So the plan I have you on now. You're still on the plan, right?
Yes.
Don't change the plan, Keep on going, okay? And that's making you feel much better, right? You at least you could say what you're 80% better.
Yes. Where to be specific, where I would feel the pain was around my T8 area, which is around the middle of my back. And that's where most of my spasms would shoot up, or if I sat down, that's where most of the pain would be really, really, really bad. But
Right.
now it's it's not even there anymore.
Wonderful.
At all. And my walking, I've actually been walking a lot. I've been walking a lot. My legs don't tingle if I walk for if I walk for a long period of time. I've been trying to walk for at least almost half an hour to 45 minutes a day.
Wonderful. I'm so proud of you, And I want you to teach someone else because there's a lot of young people today that's coming in with all these different autoimmune diseases, as yourself. You're only 19 years old, so you're a baby. But there's a lot of younger brothers and sisters also coming in with all these diseases because they're eating the wrong way. So I would like you to pass the message on to someone else and teach someone else because each one teach one. And I want you to give the Most High all the glory. If you believe in a supreme being like I do, our Creator, I want you to give him the glory. Okay? Don't forget to give him all the glory.
No, I've definitely grown a closer relationship to God just because sometimes I just feel like the world is against me and it just be so much and I just be talking to him and I'm definitely trying to gain a close relationship with God, of course.
Oh, man, that's a key. You get close to him, he will get close to you, and you are right because he's the ultimate healer of all things. All right, we are only here as channels. He used lots of people on the earth to do his job, but at the end of the day, he's the one that does everything. We have to keep him close, okay? Blessed love.
And believe me, Brittany, there's thousands of people that's going to see this video all over the world, in the U.S., in the Caribbean, in Britain, in Europe, so forth and so on. They're going to see this, and you're going to inspire a lot of people with your testimony. That's why we wanted you to come on. So we really do thank you for coming on and giving your testimony. I know that what you're going through is something that you could have kept private, but we thank you for coming on and sharing your testimony with us. That will help a lot of people in the future. So we really appreciate it for you and your father, Brother Andrew, definitely.
No, of course. I don't mind. I love sharing my story.
Yeah.
Great. Like the doctor said, man, Brittany, just stick with it. I know sometimes it gets hard. All of us in one respect or another, even myself being here, I'm on a regimen for the doctor as well. So just stay on it. I know it gets tough. Just stay on it, and you're definitely going to see the
Yeah.
results. And,
Yeah,
do you have any
the
closing
flavor-
words you want to say?
Closing words? No. You have anything you want to say?
Patrick, I want to thank you. I want to thank the Benjamins, Dan, you and your wife, beautiful people. And keep doing what you guys are doing, man. Because, again, if it wasn't for Malaka introducing me to you, Patrick, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to even get my daughter right. And, you know, it was great for her, and it was better for the family because we were all under stress, man. And because of positive people like you guys, you, Dan, you, Patrick, you know, you made a difference in our life, and we appreciate that.
That's a love, brother.
Yeah.
And love to you always, man. Don't forget, you know.
Yes, we appreciate y'all,
Appreciate
man. Thank y'all so much for coming on and sharing your story. And yeah, the doctor's definitely going to continue doing what he does, man. And we're hoping maybe to have you on again in the future to have a complete recovery story. Now we're almost there.
Of
It's
course,
got a little
of
more to
course.
go. Yep. So when
You
it's
guys will definitely hear from me soon.
yeah, man, when it's complete, we want you right back on here, Brittany. All right. So thank y'all a lot. We appreciate y'all. All right. So thank y'all so much, man. Y'all can go ahead and mute your mic. We're gonna go ahead and go to the comment boards and see who's out there real quick. Family, the doctor's not gonna be on too long. So if y'all have any questions, now is the time to ask your questions. I see somebody shouting out Brittany here on the comment screen. Hi, Brittany from Caribbean Queen. 617, Let's Get Fit says, I deal with muscular dystrophy. How do I check if my myelin is okay or not?
Well, you got to check for this doctor, and they're going to run some tests and see if the myelin sheath is damaged. And usually the myelin sheath is damaged, his motor skills are lost. You can't walk around, you have to be in a bed all day because the myelin sheath is damaged, the nerve is damaged. So that's how you know. You can't move, you have to walk with a stick, or you're in a wheelchair. That's how you know. Once you can move around without having all these different complications, you know the myelin sheath is still intact. Yeah?
Right. Now, Pookie, real quick, sorry. The Pookie25 asks, so what is the regimen for MS? When this video comes down, if you go back and you look at the doctor's, I'm gonna share my screen real quick. He just told y'all. If you go and you look at the PowerPoint he just gave us, he gave us what the regimen is. I'm gonna show you real quick. These are the herbs right here that he's suggesting that you get. Okay? These are the herbs that he's suggesting that you get to deal with MS. This is the regimen right here, along with a clean diet. You know, you want to add something else to that, Doc?
Yeah, you know, I'm started, and I said before, B12 is very significant for multiple sclerosis, 8,000 micrograms per day, but intravenously, and with a lot of minerals in what we call chelation therapy. Significant also because they make the body more alkaline. And a lot of juices like cucumbers and ginger, because they're all alkaline foods, and you keep the body alkaline and start bathing your cells on a cellular level in alkaline fluids. Don't forget that. Start bathing your cells. Start to bathe your cells in a liquid line on a cellular level. That's the key. So you don't get what we call intracellular acidosis. But once you start to have or get intracellular acidosis, you will start to make your cells become very overzealous, and they will take your organs as a invader and attack them. All right, and as I said before, they are there to protect you and I. That's the purpose of the immune system, the white blood cells, the null cells, the T lymphocytes, the B cells. They are all there, the phagocytosis cells. All these cells that help to protect us and kill viruses, they are there to help us to kill these bacteria, viruses, yeast, fungi, and parasites, cytotoxic cells, and chemotoxins. They produce toxins to kill these viruses and these conditions. So you have to keep them as your friend. If you don't keep them as your friend, and you keep on abusing your body on a regular basis and causing your body to be very acidic regularly and causing your cells to be acidic on a cellular level, you will get an autoimmune disease long term if you don't keep your digestive system healthy and prevent your foods from leaking in your gut. You're going to have these troubles long term. So the key is to keep the earth healthy. The pancreas, the small and the large intestines. Once you keep them healthy and you keep the foods moving, and you don't have food sitting in your digestive system for a long period of time to invite these bad guys and cause you to have more troubles in the cells, you will never get these autoimmune diseases. So you should put away a week or two to clean your system up. Don't forget that.
All right, family, real quick. I'm sorry. I want to get some of this stuff on the comment board. See you there also. Linda Haynes. Now, I know you already answered this before, but let's just deal with that question directly. She says, and we're going to do this real quickly because I don't want to keep Dr. on too long. Linda Haynes says, why can't I ever have a bowel movement without taking a laxative? Now, he's gone over this many, many times. Why can't she have a bowel movement without taking a laxative?
Well, if she have diabetes, have what we call neuropathy, meaning that muscles are dead in the intestines. Bottom line. And lots of times, again, lots of people don't answer the call to go to the bathroom. That's why doctors will say to you, if you have to go to the bathroom, do not lose the urge. Once you want to go to the bathroom, you find a bathroom and go to the bathroom, because once you know, you're going to lose the urge. Once you lose the urge, you start to affect the muscles and the nerves. See? Because the nerves must send a signal for your muscles to contract, to push the bowels, to push the waste out of the bowels. If that don't happen, damage, you have neuropathy, you can't move your bowels. So lots of things can cause you to have troubles in that area because of neuropathy, because of diabetes, sometimes hypertension, sometimes you have an autoimmune disease, sometimes you're not going to the bathroom properly because you're not answering the call to go. All these are troubles that can cause you to get neuropathy in the bowels and cause you to take a laxative long term. What I do for that is, it takes 3 months to fix that. Go to the bathroom without a laxative, you have to try to retrain the muscles. Don't forget that now. And in retraining your muscles, you have to eat your meals every day at the same time. So if you're going to have your breakfast at 8 o'clock, every day you should have your breakfast at 8 o'clock. To 12. Your dinner at 6, dinner at 6. In that way, you're taking nervines, and you're taking like minerals like magnesium. And once you take the nervines and you're eating your food at the same time every day, you start to retrain the bowels or the muscles and the nerves, and then automatically you start to have a bowel movement. That's one recommendation. Is lots of the times, if you don't have good liver health, you don't go to the bathroom, because the liver produces bile. And bile is what we call our own body laxative. So if the liver is not producing bile properly, you can never get a bowel movement, because the bile must be dumped in your intestines. So then we work on the nerves, we work on the muscles, and we also work on the liver. So we give you plants like Guillain root. We give you plants like yellow dock root. We give you plants like boldo. And what these herbs do, they help the liver to produce more bile. So once the liver is producing more bile, the bile is dumped in your intestines, you start having a better, you start having a better bowel movement on a regular basis. Okay? Right?
Okay. Now, I know you have a lot of questions. I want to ask one more. Just one more.
The baby.
And I'm going to pass it. Yes, because this is deep.
This is very important.
The brother Belvy Delton, I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway. The brother Belvy Delton, right here, he said, is it okay to give my 3-month-old baby water?
Of course.
Sure.
It's a human. Will die of dehydration.
So let me ask you, brother. The body function in what? 8% what? That
Water. Yes, sir.
80% water. Doing drink water from since they're month old.
Yes, sir.
80% of the body is water. So you must give your children water, otherwise they can become constipated. Because you need water to move the waste from the bowels. To have a soft stool, not hard stool, soft stool.
How much water? Because he's saying he read something on it and it says don't give baby water till 6 months, which is ridiculous.
That's what I say over here, because they know better. Doctors are not nutritionists. They know nothing about nutrition. Sorry to say. They only had 4 hours of nutrition in a 10-year medical school.
Right.
So they know nothing about nutrition. That's why they have to make you pop a pill for life. because they don't know nothing. They don't understand that the body function on 80% water, number one. The body function on minerals, vitamins, amino acid, and enzymes. You understand? Don't pop vitamins. You get off on your food. Yeah, oh yeah, right. The food chain is all messed up. If the soil is being depleted, so you must take vitamin, you must drink water. So why my children here was given water at 1 month old, and they all never see a doctor office yet, never went to emergency room yet, and they're not even vaccinated. So that's a myth, brother. They know better, and that's why lots of babies become what? Constipated. You gotta take a little Q-tip and tickle the bottom to get the stool to come back out, because they'll giving them water. All right. When you give your child water from that age, when they grow, they're gonna love water. They're gonna have a taste bud for water. And let me give you an example. In the Amazon, the Indians used to bring up the children on cornmeal and water. Cornmeal and water. So when the children got sick, the children's taste buds was not used to sweets as we in the West do with our children. You follow me? They're sick. That child will get better faster because the taste bud is not used to these sweet foods, cornmeal and water. And when the child becomes sick, they fix the child because the child could take the herb because they love to drink cornmeal without sugar. See? But these people who say they train and they're specialists. I'm a specialist, I'm a gynecologist, I'm a heart specialist, I'm an endocrinologist. Yeah. You don't fix nothing? Come on, what kind of specialist you are, bro? What is a specialist?
People seem to have a problem with this one thing, because I noticed that they keep asking the same question. The regimen that you suggest, the herbs and people are seeming to have a difficult time knowing how to use these products. How many times a day? Somebody is asking about the MS.
Yeah.
Wants to know, can you please put the exact direction on how to take the product and when and how much and how long?
All right. Well, we had videos on that already. Now, once you're using herbs come in formulas. I don't believe in using one single plant. I believe in using plants together. 7 herbs. And don't forget, we have to have the main herb, we have to have the supporting herb, and we have to have the assisted plants, because some herbs support what the main herb is doing, and then some herbs assist what the supporting herb is doing to the main herb. See? So you mix all these herbs together. Don't forget now, once you are over 50 pounds, you should be taking 1 teaspoon to a cup of hot water, and you are going to cover it for 5 minutes and strain and drink 3 cups per day, 5 minutes before your meals. That's if you're using plants that is what we call cut and sift. Flowers and leaves. Leaves should never be boiled. So 1 teaspoon of the herbs, if it's a flower and leaves together, in a cup of hot water, if you are over 50 pounds. If you're under 50 pounds, it's half a teaspoon to hot water. The bark and the roots, don't forget now, the bark and the roots sink, float. Don't forget that. So the bark and the root must be boiled. So you don't mix the roots with the leaves and the flowers. You're going to boil the roots and have 1 ounce of the roots. You're going to boil it in 1 gallon of water. And when you finish, you're supposed for 20 minutes, you're supposed to get a half a gallon of the herb tea. And the same principle, 1 teacup 3 times per day before your meals. Now, if you have multiple sclerosis or any kind of autoimmune disease, and you buy the whole immune, the packet it says 1 scoop induced a day, and you're chronic, you should take 2 scoops per day. So you increase the dosage. Like if you have stage 1 cancer, you can take 1 scoop. If you have the cancer that is in stage 3 or 4, you take 2 scoops. You see? So the more chronic the disease is, the more we increase the doses of the supplementation or the plants. All right? But don't forget, The herbs, the leaves and the flowers is a teaspoon to cup because an infusion or a concoction. You understand? Or we brew it. And the leaf and the roots and the bark should be boiled for 20 minutes in a pot of water, and the pot should be covered so that all the chemicals, the compounds in the herbs could stay in there. Herbs with a pot that is not covered. Don't forget that. And do not use aluminum to boil your plants either. You use a cast iron, all right, or your stainless steel, but don't use aluminum pots at all. So if we I think we're going to have a live video in the morning. Okay. With Dr. Sebastian Peters again, okay. Because we had to delete that particular video because it was very blurry. So Dr. Sebastian Peters and I made an arrangement to see him tomorrow at 11:30 to have another live video on the endocrine system of the glands, because we just had a brother came to me with a tumor on the pituitary gland. Mm. They removed it, but it came back. So we're going to go to Dr. Sebastian in the morning and have that program on Facebook live. And then we're going to have talk event tomorrow evening. He's a cancer patient that we treated when he was in prison 15 years, 27 years, sorry. And when he was in prison, we treated him for prostate cancer. Now he's cancer-free after 14 years. So we're going to have him tomorrow evening live on this channel and tell you the journey that he's been through to fix his prostate cancer after the doctors wanted to do what? To remove his prostate and his testicles. Now we have a young baby. He'll tell you all that tomorrow. You'll be amazed. Give God the glory. Yes, all right? Sir. Yes, sir. So we have much more people to introduce you to. We have another lady who had cancer in her lungs and her liver. And because the cancer went from her uterus to her liver, although they removed her uterus, the cancer still went to her liver because she wasn't eating right. Went to her lungs. And now she's 8 years cancer-free. We're going to visit her too. We have a few of them well. Oh, I mean, all right, great, right? Listen up, listen up. We're not going to keep the doctor too long. We thank everybody for tuning in. Yes. Please make sure that button on this video and also the subscribe button on this channel. While you're subscribing so that every time the doctor goes live on his channel, you get an alert to let you know that there's a new video up from Dr. Delves. This is the channel it's going to be on. So make sure you hit that button. Let me share my screen one last time before we go so y'all can see it, okay? Let's go back real quick. Let's go over this again because it's very important. Y'all see the page right here, right? Give me 1 second. Okay, 1 second, family, 1 second. All right. Y'all see this where it says Master Herbalist Patrick Delves. That is the old page, all right? What you need to do is you need to come down here with this red shirt where the person is holding a stomach. It says Patrick Delves, Master Herbalist. It's inverted. Up here it says Master Herbalist Patrick Delves. You're not clicking that. You're not subscribing to that. You're coming down here where his name is first. Patrick Delves, Master Herbalist. Make sure you go on that video. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. We'll be back tomorrow night with another brother that survived cancer, like the brother said. Y'all can clearly see, man, we're bringing these people on live to tell a testimony. Make sure y'all come on and y'all show the Dr. Patrick Delves that we appreciate his work. It's very, very important, family, that we come on and hit the like button, the subscribe button, and let the doctor know that we appreciate the work that he's putting in. I know I personally appreciate the work that he's done for me. And if you appreciate the work he's done for you or the information he's given, the best way to show the doctor that you appreciate what he's doing is to come on this video, like the video, subscribe to this channel, and let's show him his support, and let's get these subscribers up to daggone 10 or 20,000 to go. All right, so with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Delves if he has any parting words before we go. Yeah, well, I want to thank everybody for watching. I want you to understand that do not let your disease become chronic. Do not let your cancer go from first stage to third stage, because the higher the stage is the more difficult the cancer becomes to fix and it's more costly. So try to prevent. I teach prevention. Try to prevent the disease. If you have one, try not to make it become chronic, because the more chronic the disease is, the more difficult for the disease to be to be repaired. All right, that's my advice to a lot of patients. Don't get it. Exercise. You know what I mean? Don't go and sleep with food in your belly. That's why a lot of people losing their lives and getting sicknesses, because they go and sleep with food in the earth. If you sleep with food in the earth, long term, something will happen to you. Even though you have an iron belly, something will happen eventually. Heartburn, lupus, cerebral muscular dystrophy, even those, because you are polluting the earth, which is your digestive system. Don't pollute it. Make sure that when you eat your foods, make sure your foods move to the exact time and be removed as waste. Otherwise, you will contaminate your blood, and once you have acid in your blood and toxin flowing around in your bloodstream, you're going to damage your blood vessels, you're going to damage your arteries, and you're going to damage your organs, and you will get a disease long term. So don't forget to give Jehovah God the glory every time.
So we big up Brother Andrew and Sister Brittany. Thank y'all for coming on, and we'll see y'all tomorrow night with another live stream. Patrick Dell, thank y'all for subscribing. Thank y'all for logging in. Come on, peace.
Peace.